Thank you very much. My name is Takahiko Kameyama. I'm from Japan. I'm also from a small old town, Kyoto City. Today, I will talk about Esoteric Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhist tradition, but those not developed in Tibet or Bhutan, I try to introduce the Vajrayana tradition developed in Japan and East Asia. And also, yes, first of all, I only have 15 minutes, therefore please forgive me to skip important greeting and important acknowledgement. But first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this great conference. Thank you very much, Gadenchera. Okay, this is the title. This is a chapter of the presentation. Okay, the first, I try to introduction, I'm sorry. Okay, introduction, this additional information, the basic information about Tantric Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism in East Asia and Japan. I hope to introduce a basic foundational information about it. Yes, in Japan or in China, in East Asian Buddhist traditions, the name Esoteric Buddhism, this is an English translation of the Mijiao or Mikkyo. Of course, we have a Chinese translation of the Vajrayana like a Kongojo or Tantora, but Mikkyo, Mijiao, or Esoteric Buddhism, this term is very, very familiar with us Japanese. Therefore, please forgive me to use this word, Esoteric Buddhism, instead of the Vajrayana or something like that. But anyway, fundamental scripture of the Esoteric and Vajrayana in East Asia. First, I hope to introduce this important point. Main scriptures of, Japanese traditions, East Asian traditions. Mahavairochana Sutra and Vajrashekara Sutra, these two sutras are very, very important. Therefore, basically, no influence from the highest Yoga Tantra. Yes, in China, there are some Chinese translation about the highest Yoga Tantra scripture, like Guhya Samaja Tantra and Heruka Tantra. Yes, there are some Chinese translation of these scriptures, but basically no influence from these scriptures or highest Yoga Tantra. This is a very, very important characteristics of Esoteric Buddhism in East Asia and Japan. Okay, history of Esoteric Buddhism in Japan. It was first transmitted during the 9th century, from 9th century to 10th century. And also, Esoteric Buddhism was largely developed from 9th to 15th century. This time period is generally called medieval time period in Japan. If you are familiar with the Japanese periodization, for example, late Heian time period, or Kamakura time period, or Muromachi time period, these time periods were very, very important for the development of the Esoteric Buddhism in Japan. And during this time period, Japanese society was strongly unstable and drastically changed. Very unstable time period. That's a medieval time period of Japan. During this time period, Japanese tried to develop their own Esoteric Buddhism. And Esoteric Buddhist traditions and institutions in Japan, basically there are two main traditions. Shingon tradition and Tendai tradition. Okay. And what is the central teaching of Japanese Esoteric Buddhism? It is the same as the Tibetan Esoteric or Bhutan Esoteric. Yes, rapid enlightenment, speedy enlightenment. Rapid enlightenment is also very, very important in Japanese Esoteric Buddhism. But Japanese Esoteric Buddhist thinkers frequently use a different term. Attaining Buddhahood within this very body. Japanese pronunciation is a Sokushin Jōbutsu. This is the name of rapid enlightenment in Japanese Esoteric Buddhism. Please remember the term body. There is a term body in the concept. This is a very, very important point. How can we attain enlightenment rapidly? How can we attain enlightenment within this very body, within this lifetime period? Point is a body. Especially, a practitioner is required to understand profound understanding of a body and multiple bodies. And yes, they are also required to obtain the knowledge of visualization techniques on a body and bodies. Okay, point of the presentation. Yes, first I try to introduce unique vision on the correspondence between multiple bodies developed in Japanese Esoteric Buddhism. And I will also refer to the important idea, sacred individual body, 5 viscera mandala. And through discussing these issues, I will also examine the issue, spatial expansion of bodies and manifold images of bodies developed in Japanese Esoteric Buddhism. Then, of course, I will discuss the significance of the mandala in Japanese Esoteric. Okay, first, we will move to the second chapter, Kukai's view on bodies. Who is Kukai? He is Kukai. Kukai, he is a Japanese Buddhist monk living in the 9th century Heian time period. Yes, he is regarded as a patriarch of Shingon Buddhist tradition. He first transmitted the Esoteric Buddhism from China to Japan. And also important point, he began the discussion on attaining Buddhahood within this very body in Japan. Okay, what is the Kukai's understanding of attaining Buddhahood within this very body? There are 2 stages. First, early stage, Kukai understood attaining Buddhahood within this very body as a simple paraphrase of rapid enlightenment. That is regarded as attaining Buddhahood within one lifetime simply. Therefore, yes, practice of 3 mysteries are required. But later stage, he developed a different idea. Through discussing attaining Buddhahood within this very body, he revealed a new vision, fundamental enlightenment of this existence, universal correspondence between multiple bodies in this world. This is a quotation from Kukai's text and the English translation. The first, body, what is a body? Body means my body, the Buddha's body, and the bodies of sentient beings. There are also 3 bodies. Letter is body, shell is body, and form is body. These bodies are manifoldly interconnected vertically and horizontally. Kukai's body, our body, your body, Buddha body of the Dharmakaya, Buddha body of the Sambhogakaya, Buddha body of the Nirmanakaya, and the letter, that's a mantra or syllable, that's body, shell, mudra, that's also body, symbolic object, that is also a body, and the form, appearance of the deity, that is also body. These bodies are mutually correspond like this. But this is an image of the correspondence between bodies, as Kukai's vision of attaining Buddhahood within this very body. But this image is, of course, extremely abstract and extremely comprehensive. First of all, how can we visualize this image? We may have a question like this. Point is a mandala. According to Kukai, mandala could be used as a symbolic representation of the correspondences. The group correspondences, that's mandala. Okay, next, development after Kukai. Yes, attaining Buddhahood within this very body was developed after Kukai by other Buddhist monks. The point is different. They focused on an individual material body rather than comprehensive abstract bodies. A mandala is also equated with an individual body. Emergence of the new image of body mandala. This is very, very important, the development after Kukai. That's mandala. Okay, yeah, we will next move to the 3rd chapter, development of the body mandala. This is the core of my presentation. Okay, first, what is the beginning of the idea body mandala in Japan? I assume that this scripture is the beginning of the Japanese body mandala vision. Sutra of the Lotus Samadhi, Renge Zanmai Kyo. This is an anonymous manuscript, Esoteric Buddhist scripture produced in East Asia. And very, very strong, it had a strong influence upon especially Japanese Tendai Esoteric Buddhist tradition. And within this text, we can find very, very mysterious descriptions. According to Renge Zanmai Kyo, the 37 deities of the Diamond Rare Mandala are living in the castle of our heart. What is the 37 deities? This is an assembly of deities described in the Diamond Rare Mandala. This is a Diamond Rare Mandala. Within this mandala, the 37 deities are described, 5 Buddhas or something like that. And next, what is castle of our heart? This is a medieval image of the esoteric Buddhist meditation. Castle of our heart. That's a moon disk. Mind and heart within the moon disk and lotus flower within the chest. Therefore, that is the 37 deities in the castle of our heart. This is my own visualization of the 37 deities in the castle of our heart. Next, I hope to introduce a very, very important historical figure in Japanese Esoteric Buddhism. His name is Annen, but I'm very, very sorry. Unfortunately, there are no images about this Buddhist monk. Annen is a Japanese Tendai Buddhist monk from 9th to 10th century. He is regarded as an organizer and influential philosopher on Tendai Esoteric Buddhism. And he describes the 37 deities like this. According to Annen, a body and mind of each living being is also filled with the 37 deities. Therefore, we can have a visualization like this. 37 deities. After Annen, new concept of mandala and body appeared. That's a 5 viscera mandala, Gozo mandala. That is a horizontal network of correspondence between 5-fold categories transmitted in Chinese cosmology and Esoteric Buddhism. 5-fold category in East Asian culture, like 5 viscera, 5 faiths, Wushin, 5 colors, or something like that. Material elements, 5 viscera, liver, heart, lung, kidney, and spleen, like this. They are the key for the physical and material conditions of human, especially in the Chinese medicine and the Chinese cosmological network of correspondences between various categories. Wushin theory, the theory called Wushin, 5 faiths. And yes, format of the 5 viscera mandala, horizontal network of 5-fold categories. And from the different perspective, we can interpret the 5 viscera mandala, Gozo mandala, like this. This is also the horizontal network correspondences. But sometimes the bodily parts, 5 organs, body parts, are regarded as the mediation between sacred world and this defiled world. The correspondence is connection. And finally, Kakuban, the medieval Buddhist monks, influential Shingon Buddhist monks in early medieval time period. He wrote one important text. The name of the text, Secret Interpretation of Mantra of the 5 and 9 syllables. This text written by Kakuban, very, very important. Within this text, Kakuban introduced the visualization technique of the 5 viscera mandala. 5 viscera, 5 organs, lung, liver, spleen, kidney, heart. Yes, monks are required to visualize the movement of syllables within the mutual conquest between 5 viscera. Mutual conquest is a kind of the flow of the energy between the organs described in the Chinese medicine. This is a flow. And 5 syllables, movement of the 5 syllables. Ri, Fum, Ban, Ak, Tarak. And through visualizing this movement, yes, we can generate, we can cultivate appearance of the 5 Buddhas in the mandala and 5 wisdom of the 5 Buddhas. cultivation of the 5 Buddhas in the 5 Visra mandala. Anyway, but this is a very, very abbreviated version of the descriptions. If you are interested in the detailed explanation about this issue, please buy my book. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, conclusion. First, I introduced Kukai's view on the comprehensive correspondence between multiple body. And through discussing the 37 deity in the castle of our heart, I also introduced the image of a mandala in an individual material body. Finally, I discussed the sacred individual body, 5 Visra mandala, and visualization technique. Thank you very much. 15 minutes, 30.
So now we can, thank you so much. We can start with the question and answer.
So my question to you is, in the Japanese tradition, especially the mandala of Ushnishna Vijayadharini, Ushnishna Vijayadharini in Tibetan we call Namgyalma, and that particular mandala is there in the Siddham script, especially in Horyu temple in Japan. And that particular Dharini and mandala is specially designed for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, means quick enlightenment. So how come that doesn't feature in this scheme of things? Because it's a natural thing. Like even in the description of the whole Dharini, it says that Sahasrashmi Sanchodite, Sarva Buddha Adhisthana Adhishtite. So it defines all those characteristics that you are defining. That embody the Buddha in your heart, see him in your mind, and then you'll be liberated and you won't be born again. So even if you go to the history of this particular Dharini, it said that if you chant or if you listen, either you'll be born in a higher realm or you will avoid rebirth. How come this important framework which already exists is not featured in this scheme of things?
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a very, very important question and also a very great question. It's a very huge question. Yes, I'm sorry. First of all, thank you very much. Your question is very great, but I could not answer clearly to your question. But please forgive me to suggest my assumption. First of all, yes, as you said, the body is a very important point, and there are multiple common points between these traditions and the bodies and the idea of the bodies, framework bodies, and the mantra of the existence of the mantra. But on the other hand, today I could not explain well, but behind the discourse, Buddhist discourses, we should know the existence of the medicinal discourses, very significant differences between two medicinal traditions. Yes, sometimes they look similar, but framework of the body, there are some important differences. For example, in Chinese medicine, in Japanese ancient medicine, basically, there is no clear reference to the vertical structure of the body. So as you said, the chakra or vertical structure. Rather, Japanese Buddhist thinkers or East Asian Esoteric Buddhist thinkers paid great attention to the horizontal relationship between organs in accordance with the Chinese medicinal idea. Therefore, your question is very great. But on the other hand, I hope to introduce this kind of differences, which I could not introduce within this presentation. I'm sorry, this is not the answer to your question, but I'm very sorry. Thank you very much.